to see me?
Oh, yes, Paul. I really like the way you dance. No, really. I thought maybe we could try this again. What made you start dancing? Your parents?
No. I mean, what do Puerto Ricans know about theater? Now they have Channel 47, but then they didn't have anything. But my father loved movies, and he'd take us all the time. He'd work nights, and he'd take us to 42nd Street. We'd come out of one movie and go into another and another movie. I don't know why. I always loved musicals.
How old were you?
7 or 8.
On 42nd Street?
Yeah, it was a trip.
Go on.
I'd have to move down front because I couldn't see. I wear contact lenses now. I'd move down front, and these strange men would come and sit beside me and play with me. I never told anyone because, well, I guess it didn't matter.
Why didn't it matter?
Why?
Hey, look, Paul, if this is too difficult for you, that's fine. I have your picture address.
No. Okay.
Okay.
From seeing all those movie musicals, I used to dance around on the street, and I got caught all the time. God, it was embarrassing. I was always being Sid Charisse, always, which I don't really understand because I always wanted to be an actor. I mean, I really wanted to perform. Once my cousin said to me, "You'll never be an actor." And I knew she was telling me this because I was such a sissy. I mean, I was terribly effeminate. I always knew I was gay, but that didn't bother me. What bothered me was that I didn't know how to be a boy. One day, I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, "You're 14 years old and you're a faggot. What are you going to do with your life?" Well, by that time, I was in Cardinal Hayes High School. There were 3,000 boys there. I had no protection anymore. No homeroom where I could be funny and charming with the tough guys so they'd fight my battles for me. Like when I went to small schools. I liked school, but my grades got so bad, even if I knew the answers to the questions, I wouldn't raise my hand because I'd be afraid they would laugh at me. They'd even whistle at me in the halls. It was awful, just awful. Finally, I went down to the principal's office and I said, "I'm a homosexual." Well, it was a Catholic high school, and at the age of 15, you just didn't say that. And he said, "Would you like to see a psychologist?" And I did. And he said, "I think you're very well adjusted for your age, and I think you should quit school." So I did. But I really didn't want to. I just couldn't take it anymore. See, when I quit school, what I was trying to do was find out who I was and how to be a man. You know, there are a lot of people in this world who just don't know how to be men. And since then, I found out that I am one. I was looking for the wrong thing. I was trying to learn how to be butch. Anyway, I started hanging around 72nd Street, meeting all these really strange people. Just trying to make friends that were like me, so that I'd find out what it was that I was. A friend of mine told me they were looking for male dancers down at the Jewel Box Review. You know, the drag show? So I went down to audition. Now, from all those years of pretending I was Sid Charisse, I had this fabulous extension. I mean, I could turn anything with my first audition. And they said to me, "You're too short to be a boy. Would you like to be a pony?" And I said, "What's that?" And they said, "A girl. What do I have to do?" "Show us your legs." "But I have hair on my legs." "That's okay. Come on upstairs." So I went, and I hiked up my dungarees, and they put on this pair of nylon stockings and high heels. It was freaky. It was incredible. We went back downstairs, and they said to me, "Oh, you have wonderful legs." And I said, "Really?" Terrific. It's so strange thinking about all this. It seems like a lifetime ago. I was just past 16. Anyway, then there was the thing of me trying to hide it from my parents. Because I had to buy all this stuff, like shoes to rehearse in, earrings, makeup. And I'd hide it all, and my mother would find it. And I told her that there was a girl in the show, and she didn't want her mother finding out what she was doing, so I was holding this stuff for her. She believed me. Well, I was finally in show business. It was the asshole of show business, but it was a job. Nothing to brag about. I had friends, but after a while it just got so demeaning. Nobody at the jewel box had any dignity, and most of them were ashamed of themselves and considered themselves freaks. I don't know, I think it was the lack of dignity that got to me, so I left. Oh, I muddled around for a while. I was an office boy, a waiter, but without an education you can't get a good job. So when the jewel box called and asked if I'd come back, I went. We were at the Apollo Theater on 125th Street doing 4 shows a day with a movie. It was really tacky. The show was going to go to Chicago. And my parents were going to come to the theater after the show to say goodbye to me and drop off my luggage. Well, we were doing this Oriental number, and I looked like Anna May Wong. I had these 2 great big chrysanthemums on either side of my head and a huge headdress with gold balls hanging all over. Well, I was going on for the finale and heading down the stairs, and who should I see standing by the stage door? My parents. They came too early. I freaked. I didn't know what to do. I thought to myself, I know, I'll just walk quickly past them and they'll never recognize me. So I took a deep breath and I started down the stairs, and just as I passed my mother, I heard her say, "Oh my God." Well, I died. But what could I do? I had to go in for the finale, and I just kept going. After the show, I went back to my dressing room, and after I'd finished dressing and taking my makeup off, I went back downstairs. There they were, standing in the middle of all these. And all they said to me was, "Please write. Make sure you eat. Take care of yourself." And just as my parents were about to leave, my father turned to one of the producers and he said, "Take care of my son." That was the first time he ever called me that.
Zach, you ready for the yet?
please.